Welcome to Maaco Video Training. This module presents approved Maaco procedures for the sanding process to prepare a vehicle for painting. Paint preparation is perhaps the most important step in the repair process. Poor paint preparation can result in scratches, pinholes, and wavy bodywork that may not be discovered until after painting. This can result in the need for costly repainting. Following these best practices will ensure a proper repair job and a satisfied customer. As in any auto body repair process, personal protection is a must. Remember to wear protective eyewear, dust mask, and earplugs. Before beginning any work, read the repair order to confirm the type of work to be performed on the vehicle. It's important to know the type of surface preparation required, in addition to the location and type of damage on which to perform the work. The Maaco Cross information on the driver's door glass shows the RO number, the type of paint job, paint code, and the promised date. If this is not yet on the glass, use a water-based marker and put it on the vehicle now. Also, inspect any body repair areas to verify they are finished to standards and the vehicle is ready for sanding. Begin work by taking pictures of any emblems and trim items needing removal in repair areas for repainting. Measure the placement of these before removal. Write the location and dimensions on the RO. Remove trim and emblems with a plastic putty knife or a razor knife, being careful not to dig into the finish or to break the emblems. Place all removed items in a clean bucket on the passenger floorboard. If the RO calls for removal of decals and/or pinstripes, do so with an eraser wheel on an air tool powered at a maximum of 80 psi. De-wax the panels to be painted one panel at a time. Using 2 towels, wipe the product on with one towel and wipe it off with a clean second towel. If a haze exists after using the second towel, clean the area again until the panel dries free of smudges. Now, inspect the areas for refinishing for any chips and scratches. If necessary, starting at the front of the vehicle, apply 2K putty in any chips or small scratches with a 1-inch plastic spreader. Apply just enough to fill the area using short, tight strokes with the applicator to avoid leaving excess putty on the panel. Continue filling chips and scratches in the refinish areas. While the spot putty dries, the repaired areas of the vehicle are to be sanded. To prevent damage to trim during the sanding process, protect it by covering with 3/4-inch tape. If the RO calls for single-stage paint, use 320 grit sandpaper for the final sanding. If the RO calls for a solvent-borne base coat, use 400 grit paper for the final sanding. If the RO calls for waterborne base coat, use 600 grit paper for the final sanding of the vehicle. If a blend is involved with clear coat applied over existing clear coat, scuff only the old clear coat with a gray scuff pad. Apply a foam interface pad to a 3/16 orbit DA and place the sandpaper on the DA. Sand large areas by holding the DA flat on the panel. Move in straight lines while sanding a full 6-inch wide swath. Maintain consistent pressure, being careful not to push the DA into the panel. Instead, let the tool and the sandpaper do the work. Sand a 2-foot square area until it is clean and flat. Check by blowing off the area and wiping with a towel at the same time. Then move on to the next area of the panel, repeating the steps until the entire area is sanded. Always stay at least 1 inch away from panel edges, trim, moldings, and parts that are not to be sanded. Sand the hard-to-reach and unsanded areas with a scuff pad appropriate for the type of paint. If the RO calls for single stage, sand the panel edges with a red scuff pad. If the RO calls for base coat, sand the panel edges with a gray scuff pad. When the area for refinishing is completely sanded, remove any protective masking tape. Blow out and wipe any openings and areas for refinishing. Then, blow off and wipe all exterior panels to be refinished. Have the vehicle inspected by the production manager. Sign the shop copy of the RO to indicate you completed your job on the vehicle. Place the shop copy on the dashboard of the vehicle. The vehicle is now ready for masking. Finish by sweeping or vacuuming the sanding dust and place it in the appropriate receptacle. Always return cleaning tools to their proper location.